NWSL on Ion Pre-Match Show, presented by Lilly.
Beautiful Cary, North Carolina, the backdrop for an NWSL Week 23 showdown where the stakes are higher than ever. The North Carolina Courage and Racing Louisville going toe-to-toe on play for K-Night at First Horizon Stadium. These teams separated by just 1 point on either side of the playoff line. A win tonight would be a huge step towards a postseason berth. That drama takes center stage in match 1 tonight on Ion.
Huge game there, and an equally huge game in Portland for our nightcap. The Thorns, who are still above the playoff line but backsliding fast, will retire Christine Sinclair's jersey on an evening where they welcome Bay FC to town. You want to talk about stakes? Anything but a win for the visitors, and their playoff dreams will come to an end tonight. Welcome, everybody, into the Ion Studios here in Atlanta alongside Kylan Mills. I'm Sebastian Salazar. Great to have you with us for match day 23 of 26. It is October. It is the last month of the regular season. You can almost smell the playoff action just down the road.
There's a certain magic in the air in the month of October in the NWSL, Seb, because every team has everything on the line. The only 2 teams that have clinched a spot in the postseason are the Kansas City Current and the Washington Spirit, meaning everyone has something to play for here in match day 23, especially these first 2 teams on our air tonight.
And a quick reminder, I mentioned Christine Sinclair will have her jersey retired tonight. We will bring that to you live from Providence Park right around 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time here on Ion. Let's get to the NWSL standings, exactly where we sit, match day 23. Again, after today, or after this weekend, just 3 games left for everybody. As Kylan mentioned, Kansas City and Washington have clinched. Everybody else from 3 down to 13 is still alive. Sorry, Chicago, you have been eliminated. Right now, the real mess is between 4th place and 10th place. Those teams, 7 of them, separated by just 6 points. Things are very, very tight, and nowhere are they tighter than between 8 and 9. The 2 teams we're about to see on Ion here tonight, North Carolina and Louisville. Kylan, these are 2 teams that have both been inconsistent. Let's start with North Carolina coming in off a 2-1 loss against Seattle, a game where they actually held the lead into the second half.
And they really outplayed Seattle in that game, Seb. This is a North Carolina team that has galvanized behind their interim head coach, Nathan Thackeray, and had to overcome adversity like injuries. No Denise O'Sullivan, no Ashley Sanchez in the midfield during this last stretch. My take is the fact that they've been playing well but have not been able to get results. This game, for example, had the higher XG but walked away with nothing to show for it. They switched from a 3-back to a 4-back, which has solidified their defense. They're playing much more attacking-minded since the coaching change. The bad news for North Carolina is that after tonight, they face 2 of the top 3 teams in the league to close out the season, Washington and Gotham FC. So they need 3 points tonight in order to really push themselves towards a postseason berth. The Courage are extremely motivated to keep the legacy alive that this club has built. They've only missed the postseason once since 2017 when they made the move to North Carolina.
You mentioned Ashley Sanchez has been dealing with an injury issue, but she is available off the bench tonight. That's very good news for the North Carolina Courage. Other side of this matchup, Louisville. We had them on our air last week, and they got Kylan a huge 1-0 win over Angel City. Just a massive 3 points in that one.
This was a massive 3 points, and also just a massive confidence boost for this Racing Louisville side as they took down Angel City, because this is a group that had started to waver a little bit because they're another team that had been playing well but hadn't been getting results, especially conceding late, 90th minute or later since the international break. 4 times in 6 matches, they conceded goals. So there you see head coach Bev Yanez extremely fired up for her team to get the result. It was a mature and disciplined performance for Racing. They did a much better job defending their box in the late, able to see the game out. Head coach Bev Yanez said no one on this side is fazed by the pressure of seeking the club's first playoff appearance. They're focused on the task at hand. Tonight is going to be difficult, though, against a North Carolina team that is very good in possession. Can Racing use their press to make them uncomfortable, force a turnover, earn a goal, and then see the game out the way they did last week against Angel City? That's the question for me.
And we talked about it last week with Racing Louisville. Of course, without Savannah DeMello, huge part of their team, suffered that medical emergency now 2-3 weeks ago. She continues her recovery, but it sounds like from the reports coming out of Louisville, it's been a real great storyline internally, something this team has really rallied around as they try to get that first ever, by the way, postseason berth in franchise history there for Racing Louisville. As for how they might be able to do it, why don't we go ahead and call on Jill Lloyden. She's going to be calling the game a little bit later on with JP Delacamera. It's time for our Keys to the Match, sponsored by Lilly. Jill, let's start with Louisville. What are your keys here for this Racing team looking to make history?
Well, tonight, you guys, it's all about control. Every coach in this league wants to assess where they can find control in this match, whether it is through their high pressing or whether it's through their possession. The more control you have in a game, the less risks you have to take. And ultimately, you can optimize your gains. If you could do that consistently over the course of the season, then you can suspect to have sustainable success. And it's a deliberate, coordinated attempt to reduce time and space options with the intention of forcing a turnover. It's this seesaw temperament between patience and hunting for those pressing triggers. And it's Emma Sears who gets initial pressure on Dorson of Angel City, but Weber tries to take away Angelina Anderson. That creates a moment for Sears to nip in, win possession, play the ball across to Weber, who's in a goal-scoring position. And it's not just their press. They're getting a high level of attacking output from their set pieces. Racing want to be the protagonist from corner kicks, the movement, the delivery, all well-timed, end up at the right place at the right time, always one step ahead of their opponent. The opponent swarms numbers on Taylor Flint. That allows Ellie Jean to profit from the service. Racing is a side that has scored the most set pieces in the league this year, dominant from dead ball situations. Tonight, for the Courage, it's all about breaking through the initial line of Racing's press. Once you break that spell of the initial pressure, there's going to be space to attack in. Manaka needs to get on the ball tonight, be that link player, exceptional press-resistant qualities to draw pressure before she releases it out to Ryan Williams. In the end, it's the pressure, it's the following, the trailing runners inside the penalty area that are able to give North Carolina the advantage. Shinomi, another player that is crucial of getting the ball in the build tonight for North Carolina. Similar clip, get it into the highest player, attract pressure centrally, space opens up out wide, special press resistance showing up again to elude the secondary press for Chicago for Ashley Sanchez. Smart, intelligent run from Manaka behind the back line. This is a North Carolina Courage team under Nathan Thackeray that isn't afraid to play those longer passes and get more movement on the opposition's back line to create more high-quality goal-scoring opportunities.
Jill Lloyd, thanks so much. Our Lily keys to the match there. Coming up, Louisville, North Carolina, both hoping to trend upward as time is running out to make the playoffs, but we're focusing on other teams in the postseason race. Is it time to break out the panic button?
The NWSL on ION is sponsored by Tableau. Watch live sports and 100+ channels subscription free.
It is match day 23 across the National Women's Soccer League, which means we got 3 games left. That's it after this weekend. We got 3 big games on Sunday as well, especially Gotham FC taking on Seattle, 3rd place versus 5th. Those 2 sides separated by just 1 point. Welcome back into our Atlanta studios alongside Kylan Mills. I'm Sebastian Salazar. It is time to break out the panic meter. I know what you folks at home are thinking, what in the heck is the panic meter? It is a machine we have invented here at ION that's going to tell you exactly how you should feel about your team with about a month, maybe a little bit less to go in the NWSL regular season. Now, we've already talked about teams 8 and 9 in the table. Right. If you're 10 or below, let's be honest, you're pretty much cooked. 1 and 2 have already clinched, Kansas City and Washington. That leaves 3 through 7 in the table for us to focus on. We'll start at number 3, Gotham FC. Where's your panic meter, Kylan, for Gotham FC right now?
If you're Gotham FC or a fan, you are, drumroll please, chilling. This Gotham team, unbeaten in their last 6 matches, only 1 loss since the international break. Rose Lavelle hitting her stride now that she's had a stretch fully healthy. Midge Purse just got on the score sheet last match. Also back healthy, a major threat up front. This is a team that has a ton of talent, bought into the identity with their press. It's now all coming together. However, of note, their upcoming schedule pretty tough. They've got Seattle, Kansas City, Louisville, North Carolina. Still, they are positioned very well thanks to their recent form. I
would say absolutely chilling. I see teams around this league that can possibly go at KC. I think it's Washington, Gotham, and pretty much nobody else after that. That's the 3rd best team right now, according to the NWSL table. What about number 4, Orlando? What do you make of where this team sits right now, Kylan?
Orlando's sitting in 4th, but still, if it's Orlando, time to press the panic button. Yes. The Pride finally snapped a 9-match winless streak last week with a 2-1 win over San Diego. However, it was a draw against Houston last night. They have a ton of games in a short period of time and a tough schedule. They're still overcoming the loss of Barbara Banda. That's been pivotal. They also have a number of other injuries they're dealing with. Marta didn't play last night, for example. But I look at the matches they have ahead of them. They've got Portland, Washington Spirit, Seattle, all tough opponents. And then Pachuca, because they still are playing international matches. CONCACAF W Champions Cup. This is a team that that I don't think dealing with injuries is benefiting from having that type of extra game in the mix.
Yeah, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think
Yes.
they're a real contender to compete. It all depends kind of what your metric is. But yeah, I think Orlando's probably safe to be top 8. Anything beyond that, you might be asking a little bit much. Next on our list of teams to see where exactly they sit on the panic meter, Seattle, currently 5th in the table, Kylan.
If you're Seattle, you're not panicking, you're not chilling, you're stressed, okay? Coming off a win over North Carolina, they didn't play great by most metrics. They still do have 2 wins in their last 5 matches. Here's the thing, the upcoming schedule, not the easiest, not the toughest either, but you've got Gotham FC. That's going to be a difficult game. Bay FC, a team that you hope you can get a win against, but the Utah Royals they face, not a team that's mailing it in by any standards. They're one of the hottest teams since the international break. And then they face Orlando in the final match before the postseason. The Pride are going to be desperate to get 3 points. So that's why for Seattle, you're stressed, but maybe not panicking.
You know what the edge for Seattle is for me? Laura Harvey. Experience. Great coach right there. That could make the difference. From 5th, we go to 6th, and we're staying in the Pacific Northwest. Portland, they got Bay FC tonight. Big game for the Thorns here, Kylan.
For Portland, they need 3 points. They are stressed right now, coming off a 3-0 loss to Gotham FC. Not the prettiest game we've seen from the Thorns. Only 1 win in their last 5 games. So you may say, hey, why aren't they panicking? Here's the thing. Their upcoming schedule, a little bit more favorable than some of the others.
You can say it.
Okay,
it's
soft. Sebs wants all the heat right now. They've got Bay FC tonight, then Orlando, Angel City, and Houston. So 3 of the next 4 teams in 10th place or lower in the standings. You like where you sit because of that.
All right, last on our list here, 7th, San Diego. Huge game tomorrow against Washington. How big is the sweat in the southernmost part of Southern California?
It is panic o'clock for the San Diego Wave. Winless in their last 5 matches. They've dropped 3 of their last 4, including a home loss to an Orlando team that was also spiraling heading into last week. As for the schedule, they just faced the Washington Spirit. They've got Utah, Chicago, and Kansas City up next. Again, Utah, while lower in the standings, has won 4 of their last 5 games, and you know that Kansas City is the most dominant team in the league. For the Wave, goals have been hard to come by. I am definitely panicked if I'm a Wave fan right now.
And whatever you need to do to be above that number 8 spot, you got to do it before that last week. You do not want to need points playing against Kansas City on November 2nd. When we return, we're talking North Carolina Courage and their Iron Woman. Kaylee Kurtz joins the show next. This is the NWSL on ION.
One of the most impressive feats in the NWSL each season is being named an Iron Woman, which means you played every minute of every single game. North Carolina defender Kaylee Kurtz is currently on that elite list of the league's most durable players. 1,980 minutes played so far this season, to be exact. Her experience and leadership have been especially important as the Courage have dealt with some bumps in the road during the recent stretch, including a coaching change, player changes, and more. To tell us more about tonight's matchup for the Courage against Racing Louisville, we say hello to North Carolina Courage defender Kaylee Kurtz. Kaylee was just talking about your durability, your consistency in this league. Not just 1, but 3 Iron Woman seasons, on pace for your 4th. That's just like mind-blowing. How do you keep your mind and body right to sustain so many minutes?
I don't really know. I think I've been able to do it since I was young. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx myself too much here, but obviously I have a great training staff. The medical staff keeps me going. The strength and conditioning keeps me going. And then our environment here at the Courage is one of the toughest. We always practice one of the highest and strongest meter levels. So I think my body's very used to playing in games because the trainings are so hard and they're able to manage the load.
Kaylee, been a pretty consistent season for you, maybe not so much for your team. How do you assess the campaign so far, and just how desperate is this playoff push going to be for you guys?
I think it's about as much of a playoff push for everybody. Everyone's so close in this, 6th place through 10th. I haven't looked at the table in a couple games. I try not to look at it too much, but I mean, the points are so close. It's been like this for a few years. So anytime you're in the NWSL, you know that any team can beat any team in any given day. So we just have to come out prepared and ready to go. We know the game plan and we just have to execute on it.
We talk about how close a lot of teams are. Just 1 point separating you from Racing Louisville right now, above and below that playoff line. You know they're going to challenge you with their press. What are a couple of keys for success for your Courage squad tonight?
we need to be able to be very calm and composed on the ball from the back to the front. The more that we can stay calm and composed from the back to the front, the more that we're going to be able to build into our game. We're a possession-based styled team, and so we just need to make sure that we can do that from the very beginning. And, you know, obviously when you're being high pressed, there's a little bit of extra nerves, and the fact that we're at home right now is really important. Our fans are going to be behind us, and we need them for this playoff push.
All right, Kaylee, great stuff. Thanks for the time, and good luck tonight against Louisville.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There she goes, Kaylee Kurtz. All right, when we return, we are locked in on some players to watch who will make the difference tonight between North Carolina and Louisville. North Carolina Courage racing Louisville coming up here on Ion. Callan Mills, Sebastian Salazar with you ahead of a huge game as far as NWSL playoff positioning is concerned. Kyle, let's get to some players to watch. You got an eye on tonight from North Carolina.
For the Courage, Shinomi Koyama has started the last 4 straight in the midfield with Denise O'Sullivan out, and she has been great. Scored her first goal for the Courage 2 weeks ago. Shinomi's very skilled on the ball, can play in tight spaces, and has the ability to dribble out of pressure, which will be huge going up against racing Louisville's press. Speaking of Louisville, Taylor Flint is going to be the key cog in the midfield, as she is all season long, rather. Flint, very tall, great at reading balls out of the air. The Courage have to try to put a body on her, make her life difficult. Racing needs to try to target her on set-piece opportunities.
All right, when we return, first half kickoff from Cary, North Carolina. North Carolina Courage racing Louisville is next. Only 8 teams make the NWSL playoffs, and with less than a month to go in the season, racing Louisville sits 8th, North Carolina sits 9th. They're about to square off. JP Della Camera, Jill Lloyden on the call next.
Saturday Night Soccer on Ion is presented by Capital One. Tonight from Cary, North Carolina, the North Carolina Courage are getting ready to host Racing Louisville. Welcome, everyone, to our soccer coverage tonight alongside former U.S. international goalkeeper Jill Lloyden. I'm JP Della Camera. An important game, Jill, for these two teams, separated by just 1 point in the race for the playoffs.
Big game, JP. This game could have massive playoff implications. A result tonight really could swing your postseason placement. And both of these teams have different ways of controlling the game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be pretty tonight. It has to be pragmatic. At the end of the game, 3 points, get the ball over the line.
Starting lineups for these two teams, starting with the home side, North Carolina.
Well, Nat Jacobs gets the start tonight. Her defensive presence will liberate Ryan Williams to move higher up the pitch and provide a vertical threat. North Carolina will build with 3 center backs, allowing Danny Weatherholt to get higher up the pitch. Bedford gets the start again tonight, which will give North Carolina a penalty box presence, but maybe even more important, an extra body with her aerial presence to defend Racing set pieces. And for Racing, the success of this Racing side hinges on their front 5-6 players specifically. The press is key to this game. It starts with Fisher, who gets the start tonight. She'll look to set the tone for the press, shake North Carolina out to Racing's left-hand side. From there, look for Haas to jump with the help of O'Kane, Borges, Flint, and once possession is won, all bets are off. Racing use their press as a vessel to regain possession and fuel their attack.
So each team has made just one change from their last game. Taylor Flint could play a major role in this game. Kaylee Kurtz, 111th consecutive start for her. An Iron Woman the last 3 years, trying to make it 4 straight seasons, not missing a minute of play. Underway from North Carolina, the Courage are in pink, Racing Louisville in lavender. Ball coming back on this right side off Emma Sears. It's a throw-in for North Carolina. 4 games left for all of these NWSL clubs as we start week 23. And you hear the expression, must-win game, do-or-die game. This is big for these two teams, even though they have 3 games after this one.
Yeah, I expect tonight for North Carolina to try to dominate with the ball in possession while Racing try to dictate the game with their defensive pressing actions. Listen, at this point in the season, it doesn't have to be easy on the eye. Both teams really looking to come out of this game. It can be ugly. It doesn't matter how they get the results, but trying to cement 3 points within the table to give a little bit of a buffer in playoff position. And ultimately, if either one can get into playoffs and evade that number 8 position, that might be even more beneficial.
Number 8 means you play number 1, Kansas City. You know, one and done. Kayla Fisher pulling it back. Fisher getting the start tonight. Pushing it back. That's the one change. In for Borges, who gets a favorable roll and puts it over Marissa Jordan. Good opportunity in the early going for Ari Borges and Racing Louisville. That is Nathan Thackeray, who is listed as the interim head coach. He replaced Sean Nahas back in August. A 2-3-3 record since taking over. He's made some changes in the formation. Changed the goalkeeper, Marissa Jordan, in place of Casey Murphy. Brought down by O'Kane. Moving it up the left side. Haas leaves it. And the foul is called. Jeremy Shears, our referee. Alyssa Pennington, the VAR. Bev Yanez, second year, trying to do what no other coach has done in Racing Louisville history. Get that team to the playoffs. 4 consecutive 9th place finishes. They are in the 8th position as we speak. 2 in the wall for North Carolina. Kenna Morris drops it back. From distance, into the box, it'll bounce away. And an opportunity goes by the boards. Borges the closest one to that.
And I think Bev Yanez has done such a fantastic job with this Racing Louisville team, especially in the second part of the season. Very innovative in finding different routes to get to goal. They want to press, but they also want to pin their opposition back to look to generate chances from their sustained possession, but also from dead ball situations. They get a volume of repeatable corners. They've got tricky players on the dribble that look to get chopped down, pulled down to create these set pieces where Racing has absolutely dominated this season. 43% of their goals have come from set piece situations this season, which is the highest in the league.
Fisher starting for Sarah Weber, out tonight with an excused absence. Weber scored the goal last week in that win over Angel City. On the turn, Fisher, edge of the box, lost it. Borges can't pounce on it. It's headed toward goal. Easy play for Jordan. Emma Sears is down. And Borges, too. 2 important players down in one sequence for Racing Louisville. Sears is their leading goal scorer. It's a team that really can't afford injuries when you look at their long injury list coming into this game. Some of them are season-ending, others are not. You've got Savannah DeMello out as well after that medical situation.
Well, it was a good job from Racing Louisville to get numbers forward, deny North Carolina an opportunity to build through their thirds. Ari Borges just at the edge of the box. Emma Sears gets clipped as well.
8 goals. That's a Racing Louisville high. 6 of those have come on the road. Jordan goes short. Under pressure, Kurtz coming to the near side, has Weatherholt. It's deflected out. It's a goal kick. Our league leaders are sponsored by State Farm. We look at those here in the 6th minute of a scoreless game, and look where Taylor Flint is. No one is really close to her in aerial duels 1.
I mean, JP, if you put an ISO camera on Taylor Flint for 90 minutes, I could just commentate just her play for 90 minutes. She's so important to this Racing Louisville side. She's a physically imposing midfielder. She has that box presence, which is a real weapon in both boxes. She protects the back line. She's resistant, a little bounce player. Her play is instrumental in this Racing Louisville side.
Jordan up the middle, a little risky, but North Carolina will play out of it. They're a possession-based team. This year, they're 4th in average possession. The previous 3 years, they had the best in the entire league. Manaka, full speed ahead. Foul by Flint. Oh, a yellow card on Flint. That happened last week. Early in the game, too, as I recall. She leads the league in yellow cards. That should be number 8 for her.
And this is going to take away an edge that Taylor Flint has in this game. It's her defensive presence. Liberates other Racing players to get forward into the attack. She's trying to get back, flips the heel of Manaka as Manaka tries to chop it back against the grain. But Taylor Flint was unflappable last weekend for 75-plus minutes in that game with a yellow card. Even having to play on the edge with caution, it didn't take away from her impact in that match. One of the best players on the pitch.
Nat Jacobs played it to the right side. Looking for space. Ryan Williams, normally a right back or even a right midfielder, playing high up in a 4-3-3. Now for North Carolina. Jacobs making her first start, came over in a trade with Houston for Malia Berkeley, who scored last night. Houston ended up with a 1-1 draw against Orlando. Kurtz. Macy Bell, Jacobs, Williams, Riley Jackson showing for the ball, Shinomi, Kurtz, right at the halfway line. Kurtz in her 7th year, walks it up, try to send it long, that's blocked. Cleared by Flint, that's broken up as well. Turned right back the other way, laid off on the right. Williams cross. Couldn't find Shinomi. St. Louisville will send this one forward towards Haas. 10th straight start for Ella Haas. Playing higher up the field originally on this team as an outside back. Kurtz in the 9th minute. Moving it ahead. Manaka had room. Here's Manaka. Laying it off on the right for Williams. That's knocked out. Courtney Peterson in her 100th regular season game knocked it out for a corner.
Well, it's all about the positioning of Manaka. She doesn't need to shine to influence. Her value lies in what she enables. Her positioning in between the lines, just on the outside of Taylor Flint, allows that punch pass in. She gets on the half turn, running at the back line. Taylor Flint in front. Racing collapses in a central position, leaves space out wide for Ryan Williams. Ultimately defended, put out for a corner.
North Carolina went with the short corner. Shinomi's pass to the right. Back towards Shinomi. Putting one up into the box. Headed wide. Looked like a pass, though, to Jacobs. Blasted away. And a whistle from behind the play. Player down. Looks like Sonis, if it's 16, trying to see the number. Yep. Sonis wearing the captain's armband tonight.
And this is just smart football from North Carolina. They decide to go short, create those overloads in central areas, then look to bring it back across into the back post where they have a 2v2.
Concussion test here. Sonis, 10th consecutive start at right back. It was a big loss when Millet went out with an injury, but Sonis has stepped in hasn't missed a beat. Millay is available tonight off the subs bench, and unlike last week where she was under a minutes restriction, no restriction tonight. Eris Millay was drafted originally by North Carolina and has been with Racing Louisville since making her debut. Lauren Millay. Last time these two clubs met was the first game of the year. Ended up 1-1. Emma Sear scoring early for Racing Louisville. Sonis is back out on the field. Riley Jackson has scored a goal for North Carolina that tied it. This ball is going to go out of play. Saturday Night Soccer on Ion is presented by Capital One. Throwing for Danny Weatherholt. Kept in play by Sears. The flick by Borges. O'Kane. Nice cutting ball. Fisher. Sears holding there in the box. Plays it back outside. Sonis putting one straight up, and that's going to be over Jordan.
Wow, what a beautiful attacking sequence for Racing Louisville. They're able to nick possession in their attacking half. Look at this little touch by Borges. Deft little touch behind the back. Clever to release O'Kane. Good combination play in the end. It is technique that lets down Janine Sonis. Racing progressing into those deep areas, looking to bring it back into those more advanced fullbacks. And again, we're going to see Racing Louisville look for those little dink passes into the back post.
Long ball from Jordan. Back in the Racing half. They'll send it the other way. It's going to go out for North Carolina throw-in. North Carolina unbeaten at home in their last 8. Going back to 2023, they've only lost 3 of 32 games at home. Fouls given there. Jacobs wanted to get things restarted quicker. Left side, Weatherholt on the move. No one's closing yet. Flynn comes in, wins the ball cleanly. She's on that early yellow card, sending it into space. Cut off there by Kurtz.
And that's two times we've seen this North Carolina team from dead ball situations play quick. Put the ball down, play quickly. Do not let this Racing press get organized and structured and density back behind the ball. North Carolina won attack when they have more space. All week, Nathan Thackeray told us we've worked on being able to break through that press, and then 6v5 situations in attacking scenarios. 5v5 when we're running at their back line, we're getting trailing runners into scoring positions. We feel good if we can break their press to create high-quality goal-scoring opportunities.
It's not easy to beat this press.
It's so patient. And we talk about the synchrony of North Carolina's possession-oriented style. Everyone's an option to the ball carrier. They have good vision, good composure, but equal uniformity, unity in Racing's press.
Here they come as that press was beaten. Left side, Tyler Lucy squares it. One miss there. Bedford on the turn. Held up there. Jackson, save! Big save for Bloomer. Keeping it scoreless. Kurtz recovers. Back for Bell. Jordan Bloomer, 3rd in the NWSL in saves made, in this her 17th consecutive start.
And this is why Jordan Bloomer has become the starter and one of the most important players on this Racing Louisville side. It's North Carolina progressing it into Tyler Lucy. They get it into their hot zone, collapse the defense of Racing Louisville, and then it's Ryan Williams out on the wing, takes that interior touch to set up her left foot. She's looking to bend it into the back post. That is Jordan Bloomer's bread and butter. Exceptional shot-stopping abilities. It's what separates her from everyone else.
I remember at the start of the year, Katie Lund, who had played a majority of the games, all of the games really for the past few years, had a hip injury, season-ending injury, but Bloomer stepped in and did very well. Continues to as this ball is played across. Cleaned up by Shinomi. O'Kane. Morris bounced off a challenge from Manaka. From the left side, crossed in. Stopped by Jordan. He'll put it back into play.
I think VAR will take a look at that, but ultimately not send it to review. It does hit the arm of Macy Bell, but the arm is on her body, doesn't make her body unnaturally bigger.
If you looked at this game months ago, you would have looked forward to a Katie Lund versus Casey Murphy competition in goal. But it's been different here. Goalkeeper changes, once because of injury on one side where Bloomer has taken over. On the other side, Casey Murphy, according to interim head coach Nathan Thackeray, not playing to the level that she has been accustomed to. Marissa Jordan played well in training, deserved an opportunity, and an opportunity meant more than just a one-game shot. She's now started, this is her 5th consecutive game.
Yeah, I've spoken more broadly about this topic earlier this season when we had a goalkeeper battle up for the U.S. Women's National Team.
Yeah.
How much pressure that put on Mandy McGlynn and Jane Campbell, Casey Murphy as well. And we're seeing those goalkeepers really have to adjust their game in real time, which is so hard in this league. There are no gimme games to be able to try stuff and explore. So you've got to be able to do it in training. And it's really difficult to adjust to the way that Emma Hayes and her staff wants these goalkeepers to play, to replicate that style in training. And unfortunately for Casey Murphy, this club has gone under so much turmoil and turbulent times this season that it was really difficult for her to get a foothold in the season. But sources have been leaked today. Jeff Massouf talking about Casey Murphy maybe going to Boston next season. I think that fresh start will provide a great opportunity for her.
Billie Jean watches as that ball goes out for a corner. th minute, scoreless. Bloomer's already made one big save.
Well, North Carolina is going to have to be really prudent from corner kick opportunities because Racing Louisville hasn't conceded yet this season. One of 2 teams, Racing Louisville and Portland, and they have conceded the 2nd most corners in the league this season.
It's a Riley Jackson corner. Into the middle. Bedford tried for it, couldn't get there. Ryan Williams putting one up. Manaka! Goal! North Carolina leads. And she just looked up and saw that. The flag was up. That would have been one of the goals of the year, no? She looked even surprised that she scored that way.
I was going to say, I would have never guessed that in a million years, to Manaka to score a header off a second phase corner kick, and you can see clearly offside in behind Borges as well as Flint. It was a phenomenal header, though.
Great.
But this is exactly why I don't suggest North Carolina continue to clip balls into the area, because they just fall right to the head of Taylor Flint. No matter where you serve it, she's going to win that first ball. And Louisville does a really good job to clear their lines, get high up the pitch, and create no space for Manaka to get in behind in an onside legal position.
She leads her team in every offensive category, really, not just the goals and assists, but the shots on target. You name it, she leads it. She's a player for the present, but also the future. She's just 21 years old. Playing with that cast, we're told it's a finger injury to protect it. Taylor Flint in the circle. 20th minute. Zeros on the board after that goal was taken off. Rightly so for the offside. Right side for Sonis. Cut back to Borges. Brazilian international will play it out. Back for the Canadian international, Sonis. Borges. Tracked back by Shinomi. Jean. Up the middle, picked off. Stumble there by Lucy. Still recovered to win it. Settled by Weatherholt. Massive edge in possession at the moment for North Carolina.
Yeah, and the Racing center backs can't lose it there. They have to be able to retain possession, because as soon as the ball gets kicked out into the wide area and Racing try to create those 3v3s or 3v2s, Taylor Flynn just starts to edge herself into the penalty box. And if the center backs continue to give away balls to North Carolina in those positions, Racing Louisville's back line is going to be wide open, exposed, without the defensive presence of Flint in a central position.
Or the whole throw in. Shinomi, a jersey tug from Borges. Manaka into the middle. Jackson. Nat Jacobs on the right. Williams. 21st minute. Scoreless game from North Carolina. Shinomi. Williams in the box. Williams puts one up. Bloomer got the fingertip out there, but looks like she didn't get it.
Ryan Williams, such a collaborative player out on this right-hand side for North Carolina. It's a 3v3. She continues her run, a little give-and-go pass to get around the edge here of McKenna Morris and cranks it off the crossbar. Marginally misses that opportunity for North Carolina. Those are the opportunities, though, that this Courage team do not want to leave go waning.
Headed by Shinomi. Hannah Bedford picks it up. Bedford had the goal in the 2-1 loss last week at Seattle. They had the lead. And then Maddie Darlene stole the show and the points for Seattle. 2 players down. Foul is given there. To the dismay of Haas. 23rd minute of a scoreless game. So important for these two teams, who could flip-flop in the standings if North Carolina were to win this. If not, Racing Louisville can pick up an important 3 points and jump, at least temporarily, ahead of a couple of teams. With 1 game tonight, 3 tomorrow, 1 on Monday in week 23. Jordan towards Weatherholt. Didn't hit that as well as she wanted. Sears versus Weatherholt by the corner flag, and Sears lost it out. The veteran Weatherholt will take another throw in. Went short. Sonis. Borges blocked. Manaka got clipped by Borges. Free kick, North Carolina. Tonight's player profile sponsored by Taco Bell. And it is about Manaka. What does she bring, Jill, to the table?
Yeah, I mean, JP, in a football landscape that often overvalues acceleration and thriving in chaos, dribbling, she offers something different. It's control, clarity, comfortability, and composure on the ball. She has this understanding of this collective tempo that North Carolina want to play with, and because of her technical reliability, she is such a valuable player in the structured, possession-oriented system.
She's in her 3rd year, her best year by far. Lucy into the middle. That's cut off. Off a deflection. Shinomi finds it. Shinomi, another Japanese international player. Nat Jacobs goes short. Bell from Jackson. Williams leaves it. Pressure on the ball. Manaka doesn't care about that pressure. Bouncing off. Almost went through. Taken down. Play continues. Settled by Shinomi. Knocked away by Flint. Sears took a tug. Advantage call. Sears flying. Taking on Kaylee Kurtz. Sears tries to go wide. Tough angle. Took the shot. Kurtz blocked it. It's a corner for Racing Louisville.
And this is the evolution of Emma Sears' game in transition. So strong and gifted off the dribble. Picks it up in a deep area, takes one touch, eliminates Shinomi from being able to defend, and she drives at Kaylee Kurtz to get inside the penalty area and then put defenders in a really hasty position. Are they going to challenge her, block her, commit the foul? Now she's inside the penalty area through that long, adventurous dribble, ultimately off of Kaylee Kurtz. Last touch by Sears, out for a goal kick.
Yeah, I thought it was a corner. Seeing the replay, last touch Sears, though. So well done by Kaylee Kurtz. We talked about the challenge of facing Emma Sears, wanting to keep her wide, and she did there. That could be a big matchup tonight with Sears playing on Kurtz's side. O'Kane. Into the box, towards Sears, headed away. Sears got there first. Sonis. Sonis has 4 assists on the year, leads the club. Peterson. Ellie Jean, 3rd consecutive game for that center back duo to start, with Aaron White out with an injury. Throw in coming up for North Carolina.
And JP, I just want to go back to one thing that happened on before that previous attack of Racing Louisville. You can see their wingers trying to shape the press of North Carolina to the sideline and create those 2v2s, use the sideline as a mechanism to reduce space, time, and options with the thought process of trying to create the turnover. Manaka floats out there, gets on the ball, and she's a press breaker because of her ability off of the dribble. Dribbles more into a central position and doesn't allow Racing Louisville an opportunity to use their greatest strength, which is their press. You can think of her as like one of those cheeky little mice that can steal the cheese right off the trap.
Ellie Jean will square it for Peterson. Throwing it with the Houston dash, and Orlando played it left. Cut off by Jacobs. Ryan Williams, short to Shinomi. Keeping it on the deck for Bedford. Right sideline, Williams. The cross, back post area. Intended for Lucy. Ball never went out, apparently. Now it did. The 2025 NWSL Championship, presented by Google Pixel, will be held at PayPal Park in San Jose, California. It airs live in prime time on CBS. Saturday, November 22nd. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tickets on sale now. Available on Ticketmaster. For more information, please visit the NWSL website. Given away to Weatherholt. Manaka on that turn. Finding Williams, dead center. Blocked by Borges. Manaka fires. Blocked as well. Another one goes over the bar. Be tough to beat Bloomer from distance.
And these are the spaces that North Carolina can pick up the ball because they're forcing Racing Louisville's block back deeper and deeper and deeper. North Carolina having opportunities from distance. And Racing Louisville feel okay about that because they have density back behind the ball. It's difficult for North Carolina to find a clear route on target. They've also got an exceptional shot stopper behind him as well.
Sonis. A deflection, and that's going to go out. I showed you a note earlier about the high possession in this game for North Carolina. Last week, Racing Louisville only had the ball 37% of the time, won the game 1-0.
It's so interesting, JP, because we talk, and I was out myself a few years ago. I thought the game had to be interpreted in an aesthetically pleasing way, a certain way. And my eyes have really been opened up to different ways to control matches based on the pieces you have available to you. And I think over the course of this season, Bev Yanez has looked down the line to see what X factor she has on her team, the pieces that they have available. And one thing that they have is grit, determination, discipline, the organization. And so what they do is they ignite their press a little bit higher up the field. And then they look to pin teams in and create opportunities from wide channels or set pieces. And they have the tools available to do that. They lead second, third in the league with shot creating actions
from such little possession.
Yeah. Last in possession, second in shots. You wouldn't think those two categories would link up. Cleared away by North Carolina. It's going to go out for a throw-in. Just past the half-hour mark. Your thoughts of the way it's gone so far?
Yeah, it's been back and forth. Both teams having some opportunities. Certainly North Carolina with the better of those opportunities, finding a way to break through Racing Louisville's press, which has really been a non-factor so far. They have been able to win the ball back in some good situations, but they haven't been able to do anything with it once they have won it. North Carolina's doing a good job of finding those central passes, those passes into Jackson, into Shinomi, Hannah Bedford in higher positions, and get Racing Louisville's central midfield to collapse, creating the space on the outside. Ryan Williams has had a few good looks in this first half.
Off the Sonis throw-in. Here's Ari Borges carrying it. Pushed wide by Morris. Huff running towards that end line, cutting it back over the bar. Fisher was in there trying to knock that one home. .32 minute.
Sneaky little run here by Haas to get down the side of Nat Jacobs, pulls us back into a central position. That's a really difficult finish behind Fisher. Ultimately, I think it's Shinomi who intervenes and gives an opportunity for Racing from this corner.
McKenna Morris into the middle. Flint cleared by Jacobs, then Shinomi, recovered by Racing Louisville. Haas. Sonis on that opposite side after that corner into the box off a chest, and Jordan comes out to grab it, but there was contact. An explanation to the captain, Kaylee Kurtz, not in agreement with the referee, Jeremy Shear.
Typically, I would agree, but I don't see what Kaylee Kurtz saw. Fisher's trying to go for the ball. Kurtz is trying to shield. There is a little shove. Yeah. There's a little shove.
I'd say Kaylee's correct.
Yeah. But also, Jordan probably can read that a little sooner, come out, snuff that out, and not put Kurtz into that type of position so close to the ball.
Approaching 33 minutes gone in this scoreless opening half. Swung wide, right side, too far away from Jacobs. First of two tonight here on Ion. Portland versus Bay FC coming up next. The Thorns retiring number 12 and honoring Christine Sinclair for her brilliant career. When you think about the GOATs, she's listed there.
Yeah, and the Portland Thorns, they're going to want to put on a show for her tonight at home. They need those 3 points, especially after a disappointing result against Gotham last week, getting outplayed. It was a comprehensive performance from Gotham. I expect to see the Thorns tonight full throttle on the front foot.
Ladies, whatever.
Headed straight up. Oh, brought down. Fisher, nowhere to go. Finds Borges wide. That cross in front was denied. Kurtz did well, and then Jordan covers it up. Bell. Jacobs on the right. In the 35th minute. Jacobs gets it back from Jackson. Back to Marissa Jordan in goal. Kurtz drives it. Blocked. Taken down, O'Kane. Left it there, or tried to. Williams versus Morris, pulling it back. Knocked over to Borges. Nice idea on that cutting ball. Haas at the end line. That's deflected out. It's a corner for Racing Louisville.
Taylor Flynt's going to be the obvious target inside the area for Racing Louisville. She has that natural height advantage, but her timing, anticipation is elite. She generates so much power when she leaps up for the ball.
Morris looks. There's a whistle before that. Racing Louisville trying to plead their case to no avail. Witness the fastest female track and field athletes from around the world compete for a record-breaking prize. Catch Atlas NYC live on ION. Coverage starts October 10th at 7 p.m. Weatherholt for Kaylee Kurtz. And that's going to go out of play. It's a North Carolina throw in. Both of these teams have struggled since returning to play after the international break. Few wins, but they're both in the playoff hunt. Off Bedford. Lucy. Monaco wanted it, but she was too close to Lucy. Now it's knocked out. It's a North Carolina throw in. Monaco was fouled by Flint. Free kick for the Courage, who have won a record 7 trophies since joining NWSL.
Yeah, Flint's got to be careful here. Already on a yellow. Monaco tries to get around the edge here.
Boomer setting up the wall. 38th minute. Didn't sound like it was to her liking. Right now, it's just Fisher that's there. Boomer seems comfortable now with that. Jackson's pass. Jacobs. Manaka went down easily. Ball played across. Headed down by Bell. And then cleared by Ellie Jean. Saving a goal. Flag may have been up too. Well done though by Ellie Jean.
All of this from Monaco. Just a hold possession here. Back to goal. Sees the run toward the end line. Right here. Waits for the run of Nat Jacobs. Jacobs clips it into the back post. Macy Bell just lurking, loitering on the weak side of Janine Sonis before Bedford steers it toward goal. But it's Ellie Jean in the right position, hands behind her back, takes a touch to evade the run of Shinomi. It's well done. Really good defensive work. And that's what you expect from this Racing Louisville side. All the details are buttoned up inside both boxes.
Flag did stay down. There was no problem there. But you could see in that replay, she cleanly cleared it off the line.
That last play is a beautiful illustration of why teams look to service into the back post, because Janine Sonis was ball watching. You could see the number on the back of her jersey, and Macy Bell, who's one of North Carolina's best aerial threats, is all alone by herself with time and space. She makes a good decision to bring it back into a central area.
Ball comes all the way back to Shinomi. Kurtz high upfield. Weatherholt. No room to go. Dogged defending there by Sonis. And now the foul. Saturday Night Soccer on ION is presented by Capital One.
Sonis didn't agree with that foul. Quote, that was so soft.
Play is stopped for this, I was going to say discussion. It looked like the referee was going over to talk to Borges, but he did not. Play continuing in the 40th minute. Bell for Jacobs. Williams. Couldn't get through in that far side. Cleared away into space. But nobody there in the lavender of Racing Louisville. Jordan sends it across for Kaylee Kurtz. Long off the left foot. Brought down. Manaka. That's picked. Deflected out by McKenna Morris. Throw in Jacobs. Again, she wants to get it in quickly. 41st minute. Scoreless game. Manaka scored on a great header, but it was offside, so taken away by VAR. Bloomer had the one big save earlier in the game. Ellie Jean has cleared one off the line. Those were the chances, few and far, I would say, between. Macy Bell for Jacobs. Down the sideline, brought down. Ryan Williams played it across, and Bloomer comes out and grabs it before that ball became trouble.
Ryan Williams can deliver such a delectable ball from those wide areas. The early service, we saw it last week against the Seattle Reign. Playmaking from deeper areas, had Hannah Bedford between two center backs. This time looking to take one touch to the end line and bend it into the run, but Bloomer reads it really well, comes out, preventative goalkeeping, snuffs out the opportunity for the Courage.
Bell won that ball in the air. But it was last touched by Racing Louisville. Apparently it's a throw-in for North Carolina. For Nat Jacobs. Coming into this game, 2 games as a sub, only 4 minutes in total. But gets the start tonight. Macy Bell cutting. Walking it upfield, finding Jacobs. Out for a Racing Louisville throw-in the 43rd minute. And now they're going to change it and bring it back. Jacobs throw-in for Jackson. Jacobs again, blocked. North Carolina controlling it in their own half. Possession has only dropped slightly. Jacobs. Only 3 total shots on target in this game, in this opening half. Laid off by Jackson. Shinomi. Kurtz. Weatherholt. Manaka pulling it back with skill. Kurtz. Jackson. Laid off. Intended for Shinomi. That's cleared away.
That's brave. Really brave. Had to be impeccable with the timing to commit to ground there and clear that away from Shinomi for Taylor Flint.
Shinomi holds. Jacobs. Kurtz. 1 goal in the season for Kurtz. Played it well. Weatherholt up high. In. Manaka blocked. Ellie Jean again. 2 big defensive plays for Ellie Jean in this first half.
Good patience and probing from North Carolina, working the ball side to side, and then it's Kaylee Kurtz who drives centrally, collapses Racing Louisville's defense, and creates that little pocket, that diagonal pass that breaks lines into Danny Weatherholt. Manaka surging out of the midfield, looking to get on the end of service, takes the touch to control it, but it's Ellie Jean who slides across to defend the goal. North Carolina putting a lot of pressure on Racing Louisville's back line in this first half.
Just helping at the near post on the short corner. Driven in. Bloomer grabbed it. Just dropped it in front of her and picked it up. Bloomer out of the University of Wisconsin. Has been on this team since 2022, but never played until this year in an NWSL game. Flint picked. Jackson, right sideline. Bedford running. The cross, headed straight up, second ball. Borges won that. Settled by Bedford, 2 minutes added on in stoppage time as she drives it across, blocked again.
More patience from North Carolina. This is a team known for upgrading their scoring scenario. Hannah Bedford's their 9, their aerial target out wide. She's not the player that should be serving that in the central areas in goal-scoring positions. They don't have threats that can look to capitalize against Racing Louisville, who'll drop Taylor Flint between the two center backs to add even more coverage inside the penalty area.
In the first of 2 minutes of stoppage time. Jordan Bloomer taking her time, putting it back into play. Two-time Big Ten goalkeeper of the year. Jackson won it. Blasted away by Peterson. Kurtz. Strong header back by Flint. Ari Borges. Sonis to the right for Sears. That cross. It's going to get away. And out. Let's get your thoughts in this first half.
Yeah, I think North Carolina will be the happier of both of these teams. They've been creating by getting the ball into that hot zone in the central area, creating those overloads, getting Racing Louisville's defense to collapse. They put a lot of pressure on Racing's back line. They've huffed and they've puffed. Haven't been able to find that breakthrough. Racing cope with those wide channel services well. But credit to North Carolina as well. Their box defense has been great. Their organization inside the area, they've been tested with a few set pieces that they've coped with really well. I think Racing is going to need a response here in the second half.
Taylor Flint pushing it towards Sears. Trying to go wide of Weatherhold. Sears in front, blocked by Kurtz, and that's going to do it. First half has come to a close. Very few shots. Monaco was one of the bright lights in this game, actually scored a goal, but VAR rightly took it away due to offside. Only one booking in this first half. Taylor Flint with an early yellow card. Scoreless after 45 minutes as we turn things over to our studio. Sebastian Salazar and Kylan Mills.
JP, Jill, thank you very much. Everything at stake between these two teams, North Carolina and Louisville, and yet as of this moment, nothing on the scoreboard. 0-0 in Cary, North Carolina. When we return, highlights and analysis from the first half. You're watching the NWSL on ION.
Saturday Night Soccer on ION is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? NWSL on ION Halftime Show, presented by Verizon.
North Carolina and Louisville separated by just 1 point in the NWSL table. There's even less between them through the first 45 minutes tonight. We're tied at 0-0 in an absolutely huge game as far as the NWSL playoff picture is concerned. Kylan Mills, Sebastian Salazar, back with you here in our ION studios in Atlanta. Boy, I thought North Carolina by far the better team in that opening half. What do you think?
North Carolina had a great half, Seb. I'm on the same page as you. They were really doing a good job of breaking Racing Louisville's press, finding the outlet pass to their midfielders. Then once they get past that first line of pressure, they're able to manipulate the defense to create the overloads that they want, especially in the wide spaces. They created a lot of dangerous moments, the Courage did. The thing that's lacking is just finishing in the final third which has been a theme for them all season long. For Racing Louisville, the press is not quite creating in the way they want it to, but Racing still had some opportunities where they got the ball into the final third. You just saw it there towards the end of the half where Emma Sears had a couple of crosses swung in, but the execution of the crosses has to be better. They've got to be able to pick out players and get on the end of some of these balls. I also want to note that the Courage did a great job on set pieces, which has been an area of concern for that side and a strength for Racing Louisville. So keep an eye on that battle on set pieces in the second half.
All right, let's get to the highlights from the first half in Cary, North Carolina. We'll pick this one up 14 minutes in. North Carolina on the attack, going to work the ball side to side, gets across to Ryan Williams, and on her left foot draws a big save there from Jordan Bloomer.
Bloomer says access denied on this one. Really good reactionary save from the netminder and keeps this game at 0-0. 18th minute here. Aftermath of a North Carolina corner kick. Ball falls to Ryan Williams, who serves it in. Watch this goal.
Golazo!
Hey, Jigs!
No.
Manaka Matsukubo couldn't believe that she thought she got maybe the first header goal of her
Keep
career.
your
but
flag
not to
down.
be.
Keep your flag down. Just let it stand.
Ruining it.
21st minute here. More from North Carolina. And more from Ryan Williams, who had herself a really good first half. There's the give and go. And off the crossbar, Kylan. North Carolina's so close.
Just inches away, and that's where you talk about the details that it comes down to in this game. Williams really great with her movement, continuing her run. A little bit of a tough angle from that near side. Still just so close to sneaking that one in on the near side as we take a look at the halftime stats. You see the story there on your screen. North Carolina creating just a little bit more, 7 shots, 2 on target. The .38 expected goals, not excruciatingly high, but still, this is a Courage team that I think will walk away happy with that first half performance.
All right, quick break for us. When we return, a look ahead at Game 2 of our doubleheader and a very special jersey retirement. That's next. Welcome back. Time for our reliable connection presented by Verizon, connecting you to Game 2 of our doubleheader. Portland taking on Bay FC. The Thorns retiring Christine Sinclair's jersey. What a career for her among the many accolades. A 3-time NWSL champion with Portland. Kylan.
Yeah, Christine Sinclair spending more than a decade with this Thorns organization, really helping cement this team as one of the most dominant in the National Women's Soccer League. You see there 3 NWSL championships, a couple of shields. She holds a number of Portland records, but what really made Sinclair special is not just the way she played, but the way she carried herself off the field. So many people around the league talk about her being professionalism personified, always doing everything with integrity. Awesome to see Sinky, as she's known, getting her flowers tonight.
And we'll have that ceremony live, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on ION. This is the NWSL Halftime Show, presented by Verizon.
The NWSL on ION is sponsored by Tableau. Watch live sports and 100+ channels subscription-free. And by Fubo. Live TV and sports without cable. Try free at FuboTV.com.
The drama is building in Cary, North Carolina after a scoreless first half. It's Racing Louisville and the North Carolina Courage. JP Delacamera and Jill Loyden take it away for the second half.
Thank you, Kylan. You can see Janine Sonis was leading the vocals in that huddle as the team captain. Jill, what needs to change for both teams here in the second half?
Well, for Racing Louisville, I think they're conceding a bit too much space centrally. Ari Borges is going higher in the press. Flint's getting pulled out in the wide channel to facilitate cutting the pitch in half, and that's leaving a lot of space centrally that Manaka has just had a field day in. They haven't been able to profit from it, but when Manaka gets into that space, they overload centrally, creating space on the outside. Ryan Williams has profited from that space in the advanced half space, looking to fashion opportunities for herself or pull the ball back into goal-scoring positions.
If you're just joining us, North Carolina in the pink, Racing Louisville in lavender, and an immediate whistle from the referee Jeremy Shear, so they will do the second half kickoff again. Kayla Fisher on the ball, pushing it back. Look how high Jordan Bloomer was. Headed away by Jacobs, and that goes out of play. That was interesting with Bloomer up high on that kick.
Yeah, it's a new tactic being utilized worldwide just to get territory.
Player down. That's Bedford in some discomfort. We've just started the second half. And Bedford's down. You mentioned the injury list on Racing Louisville. North Carolina can probably compete with that as well. Ashley Sanchez has missed some time. She's available though for selection tonight off the bench. Here's a look.
There's contact with Peterson in the back. It's difficult to see what happened.
Denise O'Sullivan on her cell phone in the middle. Brianna Pinto to her left. See Felly Rao there. There's some talent on that, I don't want to say bench, in the stands there. The O'Sullivan loss is huge. It's massive. She's one of the better players at her position in this league, and yet they've managed so far to stay within the playoff hunt without her.
I mean, she makes her talents at North Carolina's disposal on both sides of the ball. She plays her position so well because she can break up play. She sits in front of the back line, but she also figures out when to include herself higher up into the pitch. She likes to slide out wide to create those overloads with the fullback or wingback earlier on in the season.
Ball is played back to Bloomer. Courtney Peterson. That's blocked, taken over. Along this right side. The ball went out. So did the player, Riley Jackson. Kayla Fisher. Slowed down, knocked away by Jacobs. McKenna Morris. Second-year pro, played last year with the Washington Spirit and part of this year until she was traded. Haas bumping with Jacobs and fouls her. North Carolina's ball.
And this is Haas chasing down Nat Jacobs. Jacobs does a good job, not only to be first to the ball, to be first to the space, use her physical presence to shield off Haas.
3 games to go after this for these two teams. 2 of them are at home, so both of these teams have a similar schedule. You could argue that Racing Louisville has the easier schedule in terms of opponents, but no game anymore is easy in this league. Teams that were struggling at the beginning of the year just run out of time, but they're playing their best soccer. Sears getting that down on the right. Took the shot and scored. Emma Sears. Her 7th road goal, 9th goal, and it comes really at the start of the second half. In the 49th minute. Big goal for Emma Sears.
And this is the response that we were talking about at the end of the first half here for Racing Louisville. It's second ball structures. Fisher in the midfield gets a kind bounce out to Emma Sears, takes one good touch to get around the edge of Danny Weatherholt, puts it on her favorite right foot. She's looking toward the end line. This ball is going to the back post. Such precision, just tucks it away in the back post, and this is completely against the run of play so far in this game. North Carolina was out in front, in control of this match.
Big goal for Sears. North Carolina looking for an answer back right away. Lucy into the box. It falls. Saved by Bloomer off a deflection. Bedford was in front. The flag was up.
Not sure who was offside in that build-up, potentially, for North Carolina. It certainly wasn't Hannah Bedford, because Courtney Peterson had a good position on Bedford, and somehow Bedford just able to nick a little toe in there to redirect that one on frame.
Racing Louisville coming off that win against Angel City when they scored in the 66th minute. Here, North Carolina's going to have a lot more time in this game. They've got like 40 minutes to try to get a game-tying goal. One of the problems this year has been all the points that Racing Louisville have lost from leading positions. That didn't happen to them last week. They were able to gut it out even with 12 minutes of stoppage time. On that right side, Williams. End line, drops the ball, plays it back. Jackson. Jacobs wants it, gets it. Early cross, headed wide.
It's not good enough from Racing Louisville defensively in this scenario. Look at all the numbers that they have inside the penalty area, and somehow Hannah Bedford's able to create separation. As good as Ellie Jean was in that first half, she needs to do better, initiate contact on Hannah Bedford, at least off balance. Use your arms, off balance the attacker so that they don't have the rite of passage to fancy a finish.
Jordan Bloomer putting it back into play. Towards the circle. Fisher tried for it. And the ball is lost out by O'Kane. Jacobs. Back from AC Bell to the feet of Marissa Jordan. Bell up the right side. That pass. Last touched by Bedford. Throw in. McKenna Morris. Out of Clemson University. Ball stays in play. Manaka. Up that left side. Weatherholt. Got that nice pass from Manaka. Lucy. Jackson. Now Manaka plays it all the way back. Kurtz controls. Macy Bell. Jacobs. Williams. Knocked away by Morris. And Jacobs touched it last, throwing. Racing Louisville.
We just saw Hannah Bedford slide across to occupy the ball side center back to allow Manaka more space in the pocket just outside of Taylor Flint, negating the opportunity for Peterson to step on Manaka, get pressure.
Williams is forced back by Morris. In the Courage half. Jacobs. Jackson. All the way back from Shinomi. Now that Racing Louisville press results in a turnover.
And that's the epitome of their press, JP, is they're so patient and structured, organized in their two banks of four. You see Emma Sears go and apply the pressure, and so often it's not the initial pressure that nicks possession. Last week it was against Angel City, but it's usually that secondary, that tertiary press that wins the ball back, forces North Carolina to play in unfavorable circumstances, play long, rush them into mistakes.
Fisher got it forward. Jacobs got the rest. A header by Borges. Then Jacobs. Manaka. Pretty much every touch by Manaka is clean. Except for that one. Cleared by Morris. Shinomi. In front, Manaka. It's tied. 1-1. She had one waved off before. That one will stand. Seventh goal of the year for Manaka.
Well, it's well done by North Carolina, just trying to find Ryan Williams in that wide channel to get around McKenna Morris. Manaka, little combination play And Morris doesn't do well enough to clear this ball. Shinomi there to reinforce and sustain the attack. Riley Jackson, that ball was fantastic. Reverse pass, not looking at it. Manaka just creeping in on the back side of Courtney Peterson, finds herself in space. Jordan Bloomer pinned to her line. It's an easy finish for Manaka in the end. That ball, oh my goodness. I could watch that all day long, JP. Riley Jackson, fantastic assist out to Manaka. Good finish, equalizer, game on here in the second half.
Jackson's first assist. Manaka really started that play and finished. And it's now 1-1. So Racing Louisville had that lead for about 5 minutes. That's about it. So no goals in the first half. 2 of them here. And we've only played better than 10 minutes. Manaka again. Shinomi tries to go wide. Lays it off. Weatherholt. Jackson. Manaka. That's blocked. Cleared by Sonis. Jacobs. Wide for Williams. Knocked out by McKenna Morris.
And JP, just from a goalkeeper's perspective, from Jordan Bloomer's perspective, when you see Manaka in that space all alone, no pressure on the ball, no recovering defender near, you can't rush out, because we've seen how clever she can be with a finish. We know how composed she is on the ball. All she wants you to do is come out aggressively so she can dribble around you. You're just caught in between a rock and a hard place when you have Manaka in that much time and space, that close in proximity to goal with no pressure on her.
Kane. We asked how would North Carolina respond. We can go back the other way now, and how does Racing Louisville respond? The team has lost so many points this year from those leading positions. But this one still has a lot of time left. Bell holds there. Kurtz. Weatherholt. This was the score when they met on opening day. 10 previous meetings. North Carolina 8-1-1 against Racing Louisville. Bell's under pressure. Still going to be long to North Carolina. That throw in. Blasted away by Manaka. Sonis goes after it. Turning it up against Lucy. Intended for Sears. That ball is out. Belongs to North Carolina. Danny Weatherholt was going to take it. Jordan short for Bell. Ooh, risky up the middle, turned over. Fisher shot, and they lead on a giveaway. Second time Racing Louisville have taken the lead. Where were these goals in the first half?
I feel your pain, the North Carolina Courage audience member. Same.
That was too easy for Racing Louisville.
It was a gift from Marissa Jordan, trying to play it and stick it in a central position to Shinomi. It's not on. Racing Louisville in the position to reinforce the press from behind. And of course, Kayla Fisher in a rest attack position to immediately threaten goal. Takes one touch, gets on the half turn. No pressure on the ball. North Carolina's in a big exposed shape. It's an easy finish for Kayla Fisher. Close to goal to reestablish Racing Louisville's lead.
3 goals in 10 minutes time. Fisher gets her 3rd goal of the year. Lauren Millay, while we were on replay, has checked into the game. Ella Haas out. The yellow card on Fisher, looks like.
McKenna Morris providing the pressure from behind. Kayla Fisher trying to double down, stop Nat Jacobs from being able to find a way out of that situation. Earns herself a yellow card.
Dad, are we there yet?
Not even close.
Sweet.
Have we gone too far? Maybe, but life's too short not to.
The Subaru Forester Hybrid, 581 miles per tank. Love goes the extra mile.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Vacations will never be the same. Welcome to the 4 parks of Universal Orlando Resort.
Millay, the first sub, replacing Haas. So a like-for-like swap in terms of perhaps a defender, but Sonis may move over like she did last week. We'll have to see. Last week, Millay came in. Sonis moved over to the left side. And that appears to be the case here. Over the top, Jacobs, who was the player that went down on the yellow card given to Fisher. It's okay to continue. So 63rd minute. Let's keep in mind that 2 of the most physical players on Racing Louisville each have a yellow card. Flint in the first half, Fisher here. But Fisher came up big with that goal to give Racing Louisville a lead for the second time.
And JP, we talked so much about this Racing Louisville team dictating play with their press. And their press hasn't been the most effective tonight, but there is a psychological element of their press that gets in the head of opponents, and the physical component. You're running more, you're fatigued, but really is this mental battle with Racing Louisville. They make opposition feel like Racing is just on top of them and that they're in control of the game. Marissa Jordan gives away possession in a careless position. And Racing Louisville aren't afraid to win ugly. They're not afraid to take advantage of those types of scenarios. They are above all types of snobbery.
Jordan clears this one to the circle. It's headed down by Flint. The legs get tangled. Borges gets called.
And it looks like she just loses her footing here. Tyler Lucy clips her, but that right there, that's the touch. She turns around to try to get up, gets clipped on the heel of Shinomi.
Jacobs overhit that ball, looking for Williams. Courtney Peterson driving it, blocked. Manaka, Shinomi. The 2 Japanese internationals collaborating into the box. So Manaka played it back unselfishly. Jackson, Bedford, cleared. Fisher up the wing. Holding it up, waiting for help to come. Fisher against Bell. Fisher strong in the ball, keeps it. Bell got a piece. Fisher gets the rest. Tried to draw that foul, did not. Ari Borges with a pickup. Flint. Sonis. Peterson. Ellie Jean. Millay on the right for Sears. Back for Ellie Jean. Sony's touch. Out wide. Flag staying down on McKenna Morris. Help is coming from that left side. It's Sony's there. Morris back. Fisher blocked. Fisher trying to win it back, but the flag was up. So here in the 66th minute, there's only been one substitution made. Later tonight, Bay FC on the road against Portland. All the talk will be about this superstar, Christine Sinclair. They are honoring her tonight. Ring of Honor, one of the all-time greatest players for club and country. They will retire her number 12 jersey tonight as well in Portland. I'm sure there'll be another great crowd saluting one of the all-time greats. Well done, Christine, and good luck tonight. We'll have that game for you on ION. Second part of our doubleheader, Portland, Bay FC, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll be covering Sinclair's night. Special night for a special person. Fisher seems to be laboring here as she walks toward the sideline. With tough landing. Well, if they want to make a change with Weber not available, they do have Bethany Balser, who could play that spot. Fisher's done well tonight. Ball played long, headed away by Borges. Weatherholt, Fisher's back on the field. Kurtz holding there. Weatherholt, 68th minute, 2-1, Racing Louisville. They've led twice in this game by a single goal. Can North Carolina come back again? It's Williams. Oh, slipping through. Ryan Williams cutting it back, and that's over. What a sweet move by Ryan Williams. That's a move you normally see Manaka make.
And we typically see Ryan Williams get unleashed through combination play. This time it's off the dribble. Just dribbles right at Sony's little stop-start. She tests her, dangles the bait. Sony's opens her legs, little touch through the legs, looking for the run of Manaka in a central position. Ooh, haven't seen that from Ryan Williams this year.
Ashley Sanchez has come into the game, replacing Danny Weatherholt. So, an offensive-minded substitution. Sanchez has been missing due to what's been described as a lower body injury. That's as specific as North Carolina has been getting on some of these injury reports. But she's out there now trying to make an impact in the game. Right side, Sears cutting it from Fisher. Just missed. And you wouldn't want to call it game over. We're only in the 69th minute, but that would have been tough for North Carolina.
Yeah, pretty much game over. Right, JP. Lauren Millay sends Emma Sears down the line. She gets it in around Tyler Lucy, brings it back into a goal-scoring position to Kayla Fisher, who's in good real estate, opens the foot, tries to shift it into the back post. McKenna Morris lurking, just couldn't get that vital touch she needed to get that one on frame.
Up for grabs, that's Flint. Flint's territory. She'll win all of those, pretty much. Oh, Fisher over the top for her college teammate Sears. Goalkeeper out, makes the save. It's Jordan. Oh, North Carolina leaking back there now. In front, that's off Morris. Millay's after it, and she touched it last. What's happening defensively back there?
Ooh, cheeky little ball from Kayla Fisher. She pops off the back line here. Macy Bell drags the center back with her. That leaves space for Emma Sears to get around the edge as the defender bites. But it's Marissa Jordan who reads that so well, transfers the pressure to the attacker, closes the angle, makes it uncomfortable for Emma Sears. Look how big her body is behind the ball. Her timing is spot on. Her shape is perfect. Denies Emma Sears from being able to extend the lead.
Here's Fisher, almost got through to Morris. Yeah, Marissa Jordan is 6'2". She made herself about 6'5" when she reached like that.
Yeah, she was so decisive to come out. She read the touch from Emma Sears, the separating touch that Sears was going to look to use to get her shot off. Read that moment so well. Came out aggressively.
Saturday Night Soccer on ION is presented by Capital One. So after giving away that ball that led to the goal, Marissa Jordan comes up big there. You played that position for so many years, Joel, so it's not easy when you made that big mistake, I would imagine, to come back and recover. Fisher went down as that ball is cleared out. Flag was up. Is that fair to say, though? She's forgotten about the goal?
It's one of the hardest parts of the game, JP, and we talked about it this week with Jordan Bloomer. And when you come in, you step in for 2 or 3 games, it's easy to have the adrenaline rush to get some good performances. This Fisher driving to the end line, a little bit of a flop inside the box, but it's easy to allow that adrenaline to surge for 2 or 3 games, but it's when you make your first mistake, how you recover from that mistake, that separates. You're a decent backup in this league, and you have a career and a future within this league. And that's just not Marissa Jordan's strong suit, is her in-possession game, which is...
Well, here's Sears running back at her. Sears, that's blocked. There's a sea of pink back there defending. Peterson. Sonis goes back the other way. What's the best way for Racing Louisville not to drop points here? Keep this lead, get 3.
Well, I think they have to be really wise when they pick their moments to press and come out of their lines, because as the game goes on, players start to fatigue. If someone's irrational with getting pressure on the ball, then that's going to demand players out of central positions, and it causes a cascade effect that North Carolina can look to take advantage of. I think they're going to have to be prudent with their fullbacks as well and how they include themselves in the attack to help the counter pressure, but also in their rest defense shape.
Malay bringing it in closer. That was deflected away. Off a hard touch from Sonis. Down this right side, Williams slowed down. Shinomi. And the whistle will stop play with the player down at the other end. Sonis is down. That was behind the play. Didn't catch what had happened there, but...
Yeah, Sonis just flew into a tackle, completely missed. It just gets stuck in Ryan Williams' cleat as Williams evades the pressure.
She's trying to shake it off. Here's Jackson with a great assist on the game-tying goal initially. Williams, the cross, knotted down wide. Opportunity was right there for Bedford to have a goal in 2 straight games.
Golly, Riley Jackson, this ball out to Ryan Williams, peppered right into the run. That is such elite skill. Allows Ryan Williams to play that on one touch. It's a diagonal ball, gives her better vision across the frame, and Hannah Bedford, again, is on the blind side of Ellie Jean. Uncontested header, has to do better.
Well, Riley Jackson only started 3 times last year, played a large number of games, but this year, it's her 20th start. She's just a young player, age 19, loads of skill. Earning the minutes. Here's Sanchez. Into the middle, forced that. And that's over the bar anyway on the Manaka shot.
Right now, Racing Louisville just getting outdone in central areas. Ball chasing, it's getting a bit stretched. Good interplay between Ryan Williams, Hannah Bedford to unlock Sanchez, and it's Manaka making that out to in run across the face of Ellie Jean. It's the second time she's gotten underneath a finish over the bar.
Flint with a short pass ahead. Left side. Sonis high upfield. Playing it in front. Knocked away. Kaylee Kurtz with the defensive stop.
And we're going to see North Carolina have more and more of those opportunities, JB, because as the game goes on, this Racing Louisville team has adjusted. They know they've conceded goals late. They'll have Taylor Flint just drop back in. They'll create a back five, back six. That's going to leave space in the midfield that North Carolina can look to use to take advantage of when they create those overloads. And that allows them to have their shorter passes, tight combinations, be able to control the tempo.
Morris drives it off the corner, headed by Flint and cleared off the line. That's Nat Jacobs saving the day for North Carolina.
And here's the threat we see from set pieces from Taylor Flint. She gets around Hannah Bedford, absolutely out-muscles Bedford to get on the end of this, steers it into the back post. But look at that acrobatic, inventive save. Good improv from Nat Jacobs to keep this game within reach.
Only Gotham has more headed goals with 8.
How many does the Stair have?
I think 1, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah. Stair second to Shawinga in the Golden Boot race, and Jacobs now pulls up. Gets back to her feet as Fisher takes it left. Fisher on it, 77th minute. Off Sears, cleared by Shinomi. A 2-1 lead for Racing Louisville. 3 big points up for grabs. It certainly helped Racing Louisville as they try to make the playoffs for the first time in this, their 5th year.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like getting Bateman when you need the protection of Batman.
Easy, Batemobile, not too fast, baby.
Any last words? Just one. It's a long one. Dermatologist.
That's why you need the real deal.
Look out! That's Batman!
Go home, Bateman. Do a podcast or something.
That's hurtful.
So don't settle for just any insurance when there's State Farm.
All kinds of changes. We'll do our best to update you. 2 changes for each team. Bedford out. Linehan is in. Lena Gomes is in. Tyler Lucy is out. That's for North Carolina. Meanwhile, Balser in for Fisher, as we had speculated. Could happen before. And O'Kane out for DeGrande.
And I like that substitution for Bevinez to insert Bethany Balser into this game for Kayla Fisher. Fisher already on a yellow card, keeps her safe, and Racing Louisville at 11 players for the moment. But also Bethany Balser, just a mature, experienced player within this league. Good hold-up player.
Into the box it comes, headed toward goal. Sears again. 3-1, Racing Louisville. What a night for Sears. Ohio State supporters for Sears and Fisher in the minority of the crowd tonight, but pretty vocal there.
And Racing Louisville, renowned for their innovative approach on set pieces. They're getting such high output from these set piece opportunities. It's served into the back post, and Racing Louisville know they need to bring it back into a central goal-scoring position. Bethany Balser, unselfish, brings it back across. Emma Sears has 3 red jerseys encircling her, and she's somehow the first to get to this ball. It takes a deflection off of the hand of Nat Jacobs before ultimately passes Marissa Bova, and Racing Louisville have a good cushion here with less than 15 minutes left. Less than 10.
Well, that's one way to protect the lead. They've actually extended it. Balser helped on that goal for sure, getting that ball across. But you saw there were a number of pink jerseys back there, but they couldn't stop Sears. North Carolina's in a big hole at the moment. Down by 2 with about 10 minutes and stoppage time left. Williams on the throw-in. Played back by Jackson. All the goals coming in the second half. Macy Bell. Right side, Williams. Off a deflection, Ari Borges. Here's the press from North Carolina. Borges up for Balser. Morris on the left. Try to go forward with that one for the Grande. Cleared out by Borges. Well, with a scoreless first half, I'm not sure we expected to see 4 goals in the second half like this, and it came quickly, 3 in 10 minutes. And then another 20 minutes later, Sears got her second of the night. And 10th of the year.
And it's no surprise how this Racing Louisville team scored either. It was from their press, and it was from set pieces. This North Carolina team has been dreadful defending set pieces all season long. Conceded 14 goals on set pieces, which is league high.
Laid off by Jacobs, then the cross in. It was Linehan, and it's going to go wide.
Well, it's time for our Capital One rewarding performance. It's got to be the play from Racing Louisville's Maverick. Emma Sears gets around the edge of Danny Weatherholt. One touch to control this ball from Kayla Fisher, who lays it in behind the back line for Emma Sears to run onto. Perfect finish, and somehow, some way, gets on the end of the header from Bethany Balser between 2 North Carolina Courage players. She loves it. I love it. I love the applause.
She's up there now in the Golden Boot race, tied with Ludmila. Esther is above her, and so is Shawinga. And we'll see those players in action tomorrow. Jordan with it. About 8 minutes and some stoppage time left for North Carolina to try to come back in this game and salvage something. In the space for Eline Gomes. Sonis just cleared it to safety.
And credit to Sears, too. It was her run that initiated the pass from Kayla Fisher, who popped off the back line. Knew she had a speed advantage over Danny Weatherholt. Run started a few yards behind, and Kayla Fisher executed a perfect pass in behind the back line.
Shinomi putting one up for grabs. Players down in the box. No fouls called, and now there is one. Emma Sears has 10 goals on the year. 8 of them have come on the road.
That kind of makes sense to me. You know, she uses her speed to be able to get in behind because the pressure is on the home team to go and force a result that could open them up, and Emma Sears taking full advantage of it. We saw it last week create something out of absolutely nothing in her press. Facilitated the goal to Weber up front, which was a vital 3 points against Angel City.
Played forward by Linehan. Sanchez in the box. Sanchez, that's blocked. Again, it was Ellie Jean. Sonis flipping it. Out for a throw-in. It's Ryan Williams. 84th minute. 3-1 Racing Louisville, looking for 3 big road points. Kurtz. Wide on that left side. Ball was cut back by Jacobs. It's going out. Throw in for North Carolina. Racing Louisville would jump from 8th to 6th place temporarily if they were to win this. Portland would have a chance to regain that spot if they beat Bay FC at home. That game coming up next on Ion. Headed up towards Manaka, headed by Flint. Ashley Sanchez recovers. Kurtz. Bell. Williams calls for it. In the 85th minute, Gomes had it defended well by Sonis. The scoreboard and the clock right now, both against North Carolina. Kurtz. If Racing Louisville can close this out, what momentum they will have going into that next game at home against Chicago. Jacobs. Force back. Bell. Up the middle. Linehan was the closest one to it. Ellie Jean slipped as she tried to clear it. Ball played in. That's Borges calmly moving it away.
Well, it's time for our moment of the match, sponsored by Subaru. And it's got to be the play of Kayla Fisher. She's had a big influence in tonight's match, pressing from the front, a peach of a pass into Emma Sears, but profiting from the turnover here, proving this could be the game winner and a vital 3 points that she would net for the Racing Louisville team at the business end of the season.
Substitution just made. Nat Jacobs out. Meredith Speck in. One of the two players from Ohio State University that made this their night. Sears and Fisher. Williams. Blasted away. It's interesting how these things work. We would have expected Sarah Weber to start tonight and Fisher maybe coming off the bench, but an excused absence meant that Weber was not available tonight. Fisher was the normal replacement for her, and she comes up huge.
Yeah, that position is a critical position for Racing Louisville. It's not just about tackling and winning the ball. It's just so nuanced in shaping the press, the angle you close, the speed of the pressure, how many options can you take away with your run, and then, of course, as soon as the ball's turned over, can you get yourself in a goal-scoring position, which we've seen 2 weeks in a row from the strikers of Racing.
Here's Ryan Williams. Linehan. You're right about Flynn dropping back. She just broke up a play, and look at her positioning now. Very deep. Actually, so is Borges at times. Blocked. Balser with a pickup. For 4 years, was Seattle's top goal scorer. Came in the trade last year. Balser upfield. Wanted to run that to the corner to take off some time off the clock, but it was knocked out.
They're just so disciplined, so disciplined. You see the movement of Taylor Flint behind between the two center backs, and then you see Marissa DeGrande, Borges attached to that back line, limiting the space in front. But then just even in that last play, Bethany Balser knows that she's just driving to the corner flag, experience, take time off the clock. To seal the deal here for Racing on the road.
Kurtz upfield from that left side, driven by Speck. Laid off, it's Manaka. Aline Gomes, this cross, Bloomer captures it. Well, they've already won more games than they ever have. More points, more road wins, more road points. They're setting all kinds of records, but it'll all be for naught if they don't make it to the playoffs. And 3 points would get them that much closer. This is their remaining schedule. That Gotham away game would be challenging at the very least, but Chicago and Bay FC at home, that schedule's in their favor. And play has been stopped. Sears is down. In the 90th minute, she's back up. Here's upcoming Christine Sinclair and the Portland Thorns taking on Bay FC. Special night for one of the greatest players of all time for club and country. Sinclair gets honored tonight, just like Becky Sauerbrunn was honored earlier. Big night in Portland, and it's also coming up on Ion, plus some games tomorrow and Monday as well.
Yeah, Christine Sinclair, not only one of the best to do it in this league, but ever in women's football history. The amount of goals she scored, the way she evolved her game, winning just about everything that you could.
Name the best players ever for the U.S. Name the best players ever for Canada. You'll get mixed answers on the U.S. You won't for Canada. Everybody says Sinclair.
That's such a great point. I mean, she's changed the way people think about football in Canada. She raised the level of expectation for that country single-handedly on her back.
Oh, I thought that was handled. No? Maybe not. It's not called anyway. We're in stoppage time. 5 minutes will be played. 1 minute gone. Jordan Bloomer, get ready to put it back into play. This would be Racing Louisville's 9th win of the year, and you could argue their biggest. Sears to the right. That ball's out. Marissa Jordan ready to put it back into play. Turning point in the game was that Fisher goal that came off of the giveaway. That made it 2-1, and then Emma Sears got one to extend the lead by 2. And give Racing Louisville breathing space. Kurtz pushing it back. Jackson spraying it right. Here's Williams. Couple of cuts, couple more. Not getting anywhere there. Riley Jackson in the middle. That's Flint again in the air. Jackson. Manaka. Everybody back for Racing Louisville. Into the box. Strong header out. Sent it right back in. Saved by Bloomer. Big save off Manaka. In the 3rd minute of stoppage time. It's at least the second big save Bloomer has made this evening. One early in the first half. Sanchez. Manaka. Sanchez in the box. Cleared away. Throw-in coming up for North Carolina. Manaka was looking for her 2nd goal. Bloomer said no.
Oh, what a strike by Manaka, though. It was so beautiful. Jordan Bloomer, a better save to match it, though.
It's the goal kick for Racing Louisville. They'll take some time off the clock. We are more than halfway through with stoppage time. A gritty performance tonight by a very gritty team. That's the way they played all season. Bloomer launches that one. Sent forward by Balser. Williams. Pressed by McKenna Morris. About a minute left on what's going to be a very big night for Racing Louisville. Williams leaves it for Bell. Jackson. Gomes turned it over. Sonis on the left. Over the top. Borges is on the run. Bell catching up to it, and Borges got a piece of her. But there's not much left in this one. A convincing performance from a team that's found it tough when they've been in leading positions. Not so the last 2 weeks. Racing Louisville have never won here. 6 losses in all competitions. Going long. Jordan comes out of goal. We're past the 5 minutes of stoppage time. So many big-time performances tonight from Racing Louisville players. Kurtz. And that's going to go out of play. What a night for Racing Louisville. We're just waiting for the final whistle. Then they will have 3 big points in the NWSL standings. Thrown by Malay. Sent upfield. Deadened by Bell. Launched into the box for Manaka. Headed away from goal. Manaka fights to win it back. That's blocked as well. Manaka. Williams played more than an extra minute of stoppage time. Originally 5, that's a minimum. Williams blasted away by Courtney Peterson. Yanez is asking how much time is left.
Feels like it would only be a consolation goal at this point, but that's even a tall task for this North Carolina side.
Jackson sending it out, headed by Bell. It's down toward goal, but it's off target. That is going to do it. What a win tonight for Bev Yanez and Racing Louisville. Your thoughts on the way they played tonight over 90?
Yeah, well, North Carolina bossed the first half. They created chances. They negated Racing's press, but they couldn't convert those chances. Second half was different, though. Racing responded. They didn't need possession. It wasn't pretty at times, but they were decisive with their moments. Big night for Racing. This is an easy team to root for after a performance like this. Racing should have what they want. They deserve what they want. I hope they get what they want.
Big night for Ohio State University. Emma Sears with a couple of goals. The first one and the last one, Kayla Fisher, with what turned out to be the game-winning goal, plus an assist on the night. That'll do it for us. It's 3-1 Racing Louisville over North Carolina. In advance of Christine Sinclair's big night, we turn things over to our Ion Studios, Sebastian Salazar and Kylan Mills.
JP, Jill, thank you very much. Crazy second half there. 4 goals, 3 of them for Racing Louisville and 2 of them for Emma Sears. A massive 3 points for the side in purple. As for the home team, boy, a big, big missed opportunity for North Carolina. Once again, the final score from Cary, North Carolina Courage 1, Racing Louisville 3. Big 3 points for Louisville in their chase for the playoffs. Saturday Night Soccer on Ion is presented by Capital One.
What a show from the North Carolina Courage and Racing Louisville. Both teams put it all on the line with their playoff hopes on the brink tonight. It's Racing Louisville that gets the 3-1 victory thanks to a brace from Emma Sears. Hello and welcome into the Match Break Show. So happy to have you here alongside Sebastian Salazar. I'm Kylan Mills. Seb, it felt like Racing Louisville was on their heels in that first 45. North Carolina with the better quality chances, but they flipped the script really aggressive when they came out in the second half.
I want to know, what was the halftime message from Bev Yanez? What did she say to this Racing Louisville team that really seemed to turn the tide of this game? Because you're right, the first half belonged to North Carolina, and then a few minutes into the second half, Louisville gets their goal, and they kind of roll from there. That's some great coaching and some probably pretty good adjustments that were made at the break to see such a difference between the second half and the first half for Racing Louisville.
The confidence seems to be sky high for this Racing Louisville side, coming off of a match last week where they finally saw out a game, which had been the big piece that had been missing, unable to put together complete game performances. Now in this match, you feel like maybe you don't play the best first half that you've played all season long. To be able to respond, to come out in the second half and play extremely aggressive is a really positive sign. And then again, this Racing Louisville side was able to close it out. You saw North Carolina apply some pressure late in the match as they started really sending numbers forward, trying to get not just 1 goal, but 2 goals to equalize. And Racing was able to weather the storm. Good box defending once again, like we saw last week. This is a major, major boost for a side that's trying to secure their first ever playoff berth in club history.
And I think when you talk about this Racing Louisville team, not just tonight, but even if you think back to last week, your big players have to show up in the big moment. They've got a big player, Emma Sears. She didn't get the goal last week, but remember, she got the game-winning assist. And then in the second half of a must-win game, we told you it was a 6-pointer before kickoff, how huge this game was. And there she was making the plays in the second half to get this team the big 3 points.
Well, speaking of there she is, because she's now joining us here on Ion. It is Louisville goal scorer Emma Sears coming off her first career brace. Woo. Emma, woo! Thank you so much for joining us. I want to start with your first goal in this match, because we were just talking about the fact that it looked like you guys were not maybe executing the game plan you wanted in the first 45. North Carolina had a little bit better in terms of the quantity and quality of chances. You came out so aggressive in that second half. What was the halftime speech, or what were those conversations that led to such a great start?
Yeah, I think that for the most part at halftime we just discussed kind of just making it a completely different second half. I think that we didn't have the spark that we know that we can have in the first half, and so I thought that we brought that energy in the second half. Like you said, North Carolina possessed the ball for the most part in the first half. We knew that they were going to do that, but we didn't let that shake us, and we took advantage of our opportunities.
Emma, did this game feel like a playoff game? Like, we can look at the table, we see it's 8 versus 9. Was that your approach going in, that this was basically a play-in game for the postseason?
Yeah, I think that we've switched our mentality a little bit for the last game included, 5 games of the season, and we're just taking it one game at a time. And we know that the league in itself is really chaotic and points move quickly, and so we knew we needed to get a win tonight, and so I'm super happy for the group. This is our first time getting 3 points on the road at North Carolina, so that was huge for us.
Something that your head coach, Bev Yanez, talked with us about going into last week's game was the need to put together a complete match performance, maybe a little bit of a lack of discipline late in games. Now we've seen consecutive matches where you're really strong in closing out. What do you feel like has clicked here in the last couple weeks to where you guys are able to weather that storm and some of that pressure late defensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'm really proud of the group tonight. They were in our defensive half for a lot of the final minutes of the game, but we stood strong in our defensive actions, and I think that goes to show the mentality that we've had the past few games and closing out games, like you said, and I think that we're all just super bought in together, and that's what's helped us click.
Emma, 3 goals and an assist in your last 3 games. What's working for you kind of personally on the individual level?
Yeah, I think that I'm just trying not to think too much about it. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else, and being on the field playing games is my happy place. And I think that these past few games I found myself in a little bit of a flow state, not really thinking, and I think that that's just been really beneficial for my game.
With this result tonight, Emma, your team is now 4 points above the playoff line, looking to do something that has never been done in club history. Last week, Bev Yanez's speech that made it onto the social media page is clearly very fired up. What does it mean to this group, to your head coach, to all of the players, to be able to punch your ticket to the postseason as you hope that you do here in these final couple weeks?
Yeah, I think that her energy starts at the beginning of the training week, and I think that really just helps push us in the moments that we might need it a little bit extra. I mean, she gets it. She played in the league, and it's super awesome playing for a coach like her, and I think that we're just looking to continue bringing the energy week in and week out.
Emma Sears, great stuff tonight. Congrats on the brace. Congrats on the 3 points, and go enjoy the victory with your teammates.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, there she is, Emma Sears, racing Louisville. And look at that. Our graphics team had to scramble. Got to update the graphic for the Golden Boot leaders. There she is, Emma Sears. Maybe with a chance to chase down Temo Shawinga and Esther Gonzalez. Going to be tough, but you score a couple goals every time you hit the field. Pretty good night for Emma Sears, and a very, very good night for racing Louisville. I guess the other side of the equation when we look back at this game is the North Carolina courage, and I just can't help but feel, not that they're eliminated now, right? The math says you can still get in, but at home, great crowd, and you lose that game 3-1. You look at the rest of their schedule, it's tough. For North Carolina, you got Washington, Bay FC, and Gotham. You're going to be an underdog in 2 of those 3 games. I think the sand might have just slipped through their fingers tonight.
This is going to be a tough one to stomach for the North Carolina Courage, especially with the way they came out in this game. I thought they played really well in the first 45.
Deserved a goal from that first half.
You felt like, exactly, they maybe left a goal on the table in that first half, and then it just comes down to the margins. I still don't think in the second half that the Courage played poorly. It ultimately was just a couple of chances conceded that lead to a 3-1 scoreline for Louisville. As we take a look at the rewind, sponsored by Tableau, 49th minute, mentioned it a couple minutes into the second half. Emma Sears gets the ball over the top, and she makes it count. Really, really precise with this finish.
Yeah, and really a beautiful ball over the top from Kayla Fisher, who played a big role in this game. 55th minute, and here's where North Carolina gets their response, creating the turnover. How about this ball from Riley Jackson to Manaka Matsukubo? She finishes, and Kylan, it's 1-1.
Jackson, with that pass, you just saw a sliver of space, really good vision, delivers it right into Manaka's run, just perfectly placed, and there's the equalizer for the Courage. They still have life as we get forward into the 59th minute.
Oh, you jinxed them.
Yeah. So then this happened. Marissa Jordan in the build-out makes a massive mistake. Terrible pass. You cannot do that with this racing team sitting very high up the field. Kayla Fisher capitalizes.
79th minute, more from Louisville. Off the set piece, ball into the box. Bethany Balser going to head it down, and there she is. Emma Sears, her 2nd on the night, 10th on the season, 3-1 Louisville.
How about Balser checking into this match like 90 seconds before that and then making a difference? A player who's really good on set pieces. This Racing Louisville side really good on set pieces overall, and that would ice the game. As we take a look at the NWSL table, Kansas City and Washington, the only 2 teams you see in green because they are the only 2 that have solidified spots in the postseason. Now Racing Louisville, Seth, all the way up in 6th with this result tonight. That is massive.
Amazing result for Louisville. Still to come, lots here on ION, including Christine Sinclair's jersey retirement from Portland.
The NWSL on ION is sponsored by Tableau. Watch live sports and 100+ channels subscription free.